So yeah, welcome to my review of the topping combo, which is the E30, as you can see there, which does up to 768 kilohertz DSD 512. Obviously it's not turned on. And the L30 amp, these can be bought separately, but I bought them as a combo because it's, as you can see, it's very neat looking and it's very convenient. Mine are the latest variants. Mine obviously are both the silver one. There is black model as well, which I didn't have. Obviously I just had the silver one. And yeah, let's get into the video, and I will do one in each individual part. So the first part will be the L30, and then the second part of this video will be obviously the DAC. I will do them separate, and yeah, let's get into it. Before I wanted to get to the actual review of the actual amplifier, as part of my combo deal, mine came with these RCAs, which are very nice. They're up a little bit stiff, but hopefully they'll soften up over time. These are the Fanmusic RCAs, which are very, very nice, and that's it. So mine comes with it as the combo. If you buy these separately, they won't come with one, just bear that in mind, and obviously double check when you purchase them, and that's it. Very nice RCA cables. So before we get on to the actual amplifier, it comes with the actual adapter, which is nice of them, so you don't have to provide your own. Comes with the warranty card information, which is all of their models. A user manual, which is in a couple of different languages, but you have to open it to get to English. You probably won't need this, but it's very straightforward. So there's just information, what it comes with, and I'll show you the adapter in a bit. Gain switch, and I'll show you everything in a second. I'll show you the rear as well. Here is all the specs, as you can see. Just pause the video if you want to actually read this thoroughly. Just pause it. And one that's very key is the actual output power. So it's 2.3 watts, 32 ohm, which should power basically 99% of headphones out there, which is amazing for this kind of price. This is in preamp mode because the output impedance is 20. Just some information there. And the actual output impedance of this for the headphone jack is 0.1, which is amazing really as well for the price. So that work from anything from really sensitive IEMs to, you know, anything hard to drive. That's one of the main reasons I actually bought this. And now this is one of the only negatives, which is this. So this is the actual power adapter. Obviously mine is the UK variant. Output AC 15 volts, 1000 milliamps. Yep. So, but the actual problem is the length. So there's the start. There's the end. That's it. It should really be like twice the length. But that's it really. So if you don't have a plug near your computer or your laptop, you might have to do something about that. So yeah, let's get into it. I've left the actual protective covers on, but they do come off. There's one there, and there's one there. Obviously on minimum, maximum, very smooth. Obviously 1/2 inch jack or 6.3 millimeters. That little dot there is a white light when it's powered. It's not in your face for pads to stop it scratching your desk or anything like that. Off, as it is off. HPA, which is for headphones. When you flick between these modes, you'll hear like the solenoid, like a little click. Pre, which is the preamp, which is a really nice feature with this, is say if you listen to headphones, and then if you want to use powered speakers, powered monitors, without unplugging anything, you can just flick it up. Or if you want headphones again, just put it back in the middle. Super easy. Also, make sure when you change between them, just put your volume down, otherwise you're going to blow something up. negative 9 decibels, which is low gain, 0 is medium, and plus 9 is high. Another thing I liked about this, compared to my O2 DAC I've used for a while on my computer. So if you use it on low gain, so I use it for IEMs, on the Audio Sense T800 is a good example, or the Blon 01 I've tried them with. You got really good volume range, so instead of being on the O2, as soon as you go move it like that, it's really loud. You do get good range between the volume. And power output, like I said, 2.3 watts at 32 ohm. I've tried this with my Hypherman HE4XX. Not a problem, but it's kind of easy to do to power. I tried this with the Odyssey EL8. Again, not a problem. And I've tried it with my Massdrop Vortex collaboration, the TXOs, which was out a few years ago. It's the ones that's based on the Mark II Vortex, and it powers them perfectly fine as well. So you can power hard to drive and very easy to drive with the gain settings, which I really like. High res, because it actually does support that. It does come with another two, but they're in the box. So yeah, obviously the power input. Those two, you would go to your powered speakers or powered monitors. And obviously that's an input from the DAC. And that's it. It works absolutely perfect. Nice build quality. Sound quality, I'd say it sounds neutral to my ears. It sounds detailed. It sounds crisp, shall I say. It sounds exactly how it should be, really. No issues with like the sound quality or anything like that. The actual size, so proportions are, it's about 10 centimeters wide, so 10 centimeters. It's 3.2 centimeters high, and the actual depth is 12.5, excluding the actual volume knob, so it's not very big. So yeah, I like this. It's a great amp. It does everything as I expected it to. I knew what it was like before I bought it. So the only negative for me is the short power lead, which will cause me a problem, but for the people you'll probably be fine. And I think that's it. Let's go over to the actual DAC. So on to the actual topping E30. As you can see, I've got it powered by USB, but I'll show you that in a second. And yes, it does come with a remote control, which I'll explain more in a bit. Warranty card, so the same as the actual, basically the actual amplifier. DAC, this uses the AKM 4493, which is quite key because as of this video, they actually had a large fire where the actual factory burnt down. So yeah, so if you really want this, don't hesitate. But here's the information. So like I said, there's up to 768 kilohertz 32-bit, up to DSD 512. It's a full digital volume control, as you can see, an LED. It says it can be used as not only as a DAC but also as a preamp. It does have volume control, which I'll show you in a second. Contents, you have to use 2 USBs on this, which I'll show you as well. Source of inputs, USB, optical and coaxial, and obviously only RCA out. That's what it looks like, but I'll show you in a bit. That's the rear. I will show you in a bit. So these are the actual controls. So make it easier for you. So the top left one, as you can see, is standby, volume up, volume down, mute. As you can see, these are inputs basically. So volume up, volume down, inputs, standby, mute. It says this does nothing. It says invalid button. Line out, invalid button. So it's just like a generic remote control. The FIR, which is 4.6, is for filters, and it does have 6 filters. I can't really tell much of a difference, but maybe you can. M, invalid button. That one there, as you can see, is brightness, and that one says auto. So yeah, you can change auto power on and off. So it's a very straightforward remote. If you need to, you can do some functions via the button, which I'll show you in a bit. So it goes all the way from USB 44.1 up to 768. You do need to use the drivers. That includes Windows 10. You need drivers, which is I didn't expect. The SD 64 up to 512. Native, and obviously over DOP 64 to 256. Optical or coaxial. Optical would be a good choice. So you can do all the way from 44 up to 192 and 16 to 24 over optical, which is probably one of the better options. That way you don't need drivers. There's information about how you power it on and off. Standby. It will automatic standby within 1 minute. Volume control, which is there. So you only can do volume control on the actual remote. There's information about that. How you switch things, I'll show you in a bit. It says error, output mode. It's all very, very straightforward. So these are the 6 filters, and it will display F1 to F6. So you got sharp roll off, slow roll off, short delay, sharp roll off, short delay, slow roll off, super slow roll off, and low dispersion, short delay. Just information about the screen, and yeah, that's it. So the information is very useful. So that's what it looks like. If you're using Wasapi in Fubar 2000, it will show you the actual kilohertz of the source. So if you were playing a track that's 96 kilohertz, it will show it there. So USB, I've left the protective cover on. USB, change to optical if it's connected, not connected. Coaxial, same for that. USB 192, it's set as 192 kilohertz in Windows 7 because my laptop is just there. There you go. Standby, obviously turn it back on. Just one button, come on. There you go. You just got to get the actual NAC. So that's it. I will actually unplug it, show you the cables. At least this has longer cables than the actual power adapter. So this one is actual for data transfer. So it goes all through here. A bit tangled, it's a bit like it needs straightening. Yep, to that USB connection. Now this is the one I didn't really like. I was expecting a power adapter. It goes from this to USB. So that's one thing you have to bear in mind. Or you can actually power it off like a battery bank, which is really straightforward. Actually go to the back. Mine is a newer variant, so I don't need to install. There's a firmware update about a polarity issue, which is not a problem. So obviously that's the USB to DC 5V for power, and you have to use that. USB from your computer. You don't need to use that if you're using optical. So obviously coaxial in, so that's in, and input. And those two are outputs to the actual amp. And that's it, very straightforward. Obviously I left the cover on. Obviously 4 pads to keep it from scratching the actual surface. And it works very straightforward. One thing to note, Topping do a slightly cheaper one called the D10S, which doesn't have some of this functionality like volume control, and it only uses one USB just to power and data the device, which might be more useful for people. But I liked the actual combo. It's very nice, and it should last me for a few years to come. But bear in mind, the actual factory got burnt down, so there's only so many of these chips in the wild. And that's it. Works perfect for me. Just remember to use the drivers or use optical from your computer already. And that's it. So my conclusion of these, I really like this combo. For the price, it's really hard to say no, and this could easily be your first nice quality amp and DAC combo. It could also actually be your last amp, DAC and combo. If you're not interested in balanced, these are really good. So positives obviously of the actual amp are really nice volume control. In low gain, you do get nice range for IEMs. Has more than enough power for high-end headphones, hard to power ones with that. With the preamp, you can do headphones without unplugging them and then do speakers, and then vice versa, which is really good. Like, that's such a useful feature, and when I get speakers set up, that'd be super useful for me. Only negative is the short cable, but you can obviously work your way around that. And the actual DAC, you need to use drivers. Not really keen on having 2 USB cables, but you could actually power the device off like a battery bank, which is useful. It's got the AKM 4493, so it's got a known DAC. Both of these measure very well. The amplifier has a 0.1 output impedance, which is really good. Obviously, this has 6 different filters and volume control, and he has nice inputs. So it's, as a combo, they work really nice. Bear in mind there is the D10S DAC, or the non-S, which is slightly older if you need something that's a little bit cheaper but has less functionality. I like this pair. These cost me just under 200 in the AliExpress. The 11/11 singles sales event in China. I'm really happy with what I've got. These should last me for quite a while. And I think that's it. Anything else you want to let me know, just as usual in the comments. But easily a recommendation for myself. Just from the nice little small compact package. Performance from both. Build quality, measurements, they do everything really well. So they are a nice combo unit, as you can see. It's not very big, works perfect, and yeah, it's an easy recommendation for me. So yeah, thanks for watching and take care.